Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cool and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, Lore and Frey, and the upcoming Jaw of the Dragon. So, I've been playing a little bit of Sonic Adventure 2, and I released a video a while back talking about how much I was enjoying it and how much I love the game, and I think like now that I'm near the end of the hero path, I haven't picked it up in a while because of Fire Emblem Engage, and now that I'm near the end, now that I'm like approaching the end, I can tell you like for certainty that yes, I do really like Sonic Adventure 2. It does deserve its reputation as one of the best Sonic games. And honestly, it's probably one of my favorite games on the Dreamcast. Like, I don't know, I think it's like probably going to be a toss up for between me and Sonic Adventure 1 and this. Uh, I like Shenmue as well. There are a couple of Dreamcast games that I really like, but I thought going into this that I would hate Sonic Adventure 2. And I kind of had to like think for a minute like why I thought that. Like why exactly did I go into Sonic Adventure 2 expecting to hate it? And of course like, there are a wide range of reasons. I've been burned too many times with modern Sonic games. I played stuff like Secret Rings, which I hated. Like I've played like Lost World, which isn't great. You know uh Heroes. The original Sega Genesis games I'm not crazy about. Like there are all these Sonic games that I've played over the years that are just bad or just mediocre that like I really wasn't expecting a lot going into the adventure games, which honestly I think are like the last really good like relevant Sonic games I really wanted to get to. And I was like really surprised when I played Sonic Adventure 1. Very pleasantly surprised with how good it was, how creative the stage design was, how it felt like a really unique, platformer. I thought Sonic Adventure did a fantastic job of evolving Sonic into 3D. I thought it was like a really cool, interesting, technical marvel with like, the sheer speed, the visual design, the stage design. It was just amazing. Now, there are obviously like a lot of kinks in that game. Like the open hub area was probably a mistake. And, having so many playable characters, not all of them very good, was kind of a buzzkill. But like for the most part, I thought Sonic Adventure was surprisingly compelling, surprisingly good. And I put off Sonic Adventure 2 for a long time because I was unfortunately manipulated by a handful of complete completely ignorant fools. Like I let myself be deluded by people like Egoraptor and Projared that Sonic Adventure 2 was bad. Because I explicitly remember this growing up. Like, being told that like, oh, Sonic Adventure 2, it's not a great game. It has all these issues, like the Tails and Knuckles stages aren't good. Like, it's goofy as sin. Like the voice acting isn't good. The story isn't good. Like this. Like only the speed sections are good. Like there was all this like I consumed so much like media, growing up about how Sonic Adventure 2 was like did not deserve its like positive reputation that I honestly kind of believed it without playing the game because at the time I was playing like a lot of bad Sonic games, like we had seen the decline of Sonic, like it was well ingrained in the community at this point and just how bad Sonic had become. And so like I had no problem believing that like it began with Sonic Adventure 2, right? Because it seemed to have like the same kind of it seemed to be like the beginning of all the problems with like the focus on like edgy side characters and just all this like all this talk about like bad controls and stuff like that. Like it just felt like a natural kind of thing is that like this game just didn't live up to the original adventure. But now that I've actually played it, now that I've seen that it actually not only is as good as adventure but better in a lot of ways, I I find myself like really feeling aggravated at like the YouTubers and e-celebs who honestly managed to convince me, like an ignorant, like non-Sonic Adventure 2 playing like gamer that the games were so terrible that they weren't worth checking out, which is far far from the truth. Like I have a hard time believing that anyone who enjoyed the original Sonic Adventure wouldn't enjoy Sonic Adventure 2. Like I think the game is spectacular. I was very surprised with how energetic, fast-paced, fun this game was. I really highly respected. In fact, I would say it's probably up there as one of my favorite Sonic games, if not my favorite. Of course, I'm gonna have to like play through Adventure again to kind of get a feel for how I feel about that. But like, I think I am at this point leaning towards like Adventure 2 is just a little bit better, if only because like there are no hub worlds, which was a huge improvement. I hate the pub world in Sonic Adventure, but um, yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 just oozes style, has a lot of creativity, and is just pure fun. Like that's something I've never heard these people say is that, Sonic Adventure 2 is fun. And really, when you get right down to it, that's all you really need out of a game. And these guys are just these old like busted up, washed out like e-celebs pushing narratives that like don't really make any sense. Like again, I talk a lot about how these people don't know anything about like, a lot of Nintendo games I like, but now that I'm kind of delving deeper into like the realm of games that I haven't experienced before, stuff like, Ogre Battle, Yeast, Trails, Trails of, and now Sonic, like, all these like more, I hate to call it Sonic niche, but like, lesser known video game titles than what I'm used to playing from Nintendo, like, you really do feel as if like there's a wide world of great stuff that like not only are people not talking about, but certain people like really downplay and really aggressively like try and hate on and like despise really for no reason. And like Sonic Adventures 2's case, like I have a very hard time like figuring out why Projared and like Egoraptor had such a hard time understanding this game. Really understanding the appeal of it. Because like, if I was a kid playing this would be like one of the best things ever. And I'm quite older. I'm not like quite a kid anymore. But like I still really felt that like, Saturday morning cartoon energy, of like, Eggman blasting open the moon. You have like, Sonic encountering the president. You have like these cool action sequences, like the finales in space. Like, isn't that cool? Like, you have like all these cool elements that really just make a really fun, entertaining product. That feels like it could have been this great Saturday morning cartoon, right? Like Sonic Adventure, like nailed, I think, what Sonic it should be. Like more than the Genesis games, more than anything that came after this. Like I think Sonic Adventure 2 is like the definitive Sonic game. This is what Sonic should be. Not this comedy crap with Sonic Boom, not this like weird multiverse shit they're doing with Prime or like open world and frontiers. Like this is what Sonic should be. It's just like a mascot platforming franchise that has this like focus on action and adventure and just something like you would see out of a comic book, right? Like this is Sonic. This is what makes Sonic fun to people. And I think this is why so many people, even today, think back to Sonic Adventure 2 as like the best ever when it came to Sonic the Hedgehog. And yet, people like Egoraptor, oh, we can't have that. We can't let Sonic fans enjoy a video game. We better make videos saying that, like, oh, this game, it's not good. It's just, you're only nostalgic for this game you haven't played before. I guarantee you, the people who love Sonic Adventure 2 play this game regularly. Just like I play Donkey Kong Country, just like I play A Link to the Past, just like I play like Super Metroid, Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, my favorite games of all time, right? I I don't want to say Sonic Adventure 2 is one of my favorite games ever made. Okay, because it won't be. It's like, well, I didn't grow up with it. I don't have like the attachment to it that a lot of other people do. But I have to say, the people who said this game was bad are completely delusional. These people need to just go away. Okay, like this isn't just about Nintendo anymore. Like I think I'm kind of past that. Like it's about good games in general being written off for no reason. Sonic Adventure 2 is just one example. How many more have been downplayed or ignored by gaming journalists? How many great games are just not even brought up in best ever lists or like, top 10 of the year lists. Like how many major YouTubers talked about 13 Sentinels? Like when I Googled it, when the Switch version came out, the only person I saw comment on it was Yahtzee. And all he could do was like whine about how it's too anime for his tastes. Because, Yahtzee is an Aussie who has no idea how to have fun. Like, it is just the most absurd. It is pathetic to see like what the gaming YouTube community has become. You know what I mean? Seeing Pat the NES Punk say that he hates the N64, but then go ahead and like starts planning a book, like compiling all the N64 games, and like it's just you see this like double standard and hypocrisy everywhere, right? I've talked about it like extensively with like Nintendo products, but other people are getting impacted by this too. Like, this is not a community for enthusiasts. It is a community for grifters and shills to try and fool you into believing something that simply is not true.